There's actually frost on the windshield this morning, which doesn't happen that often in California, but we're at a little higher elevation. But the weather has been challenging here for the past week, and today is our first clear day in quite a while. And I'm gonna go do a little filming of the road closure that we're suffering through here. We can't go to Santa Barbara without going through a significant detour, so we don't go to Santa Barbara. But anyway, we had high winds, rain, the power was out for 2 days. And the funny thing about having your power out in an RV, when you've got battery backup and all that stuff like we have, and like most people nowadays do, you don't know the power's out. The only reason we discovered the power was out is Terry went to use a microwave and the microwave wouldn't work. And I don't run the microwave off of the inverter. So, sure enough, I went outside to see if the breaker had been tripped, and as soon as I got outside, I heard all the generators running and realized that everybody else had figured out they didn't have power. So we supplanted our power needs with some occasional generator use, and because it was cloudy, we didn't get any solar to speak of, and survived fine. So it does come in handy in that regard. So there was a place here where the water washed out the road, and so everything is blocked, and they don't want you to go towards Santa Barbara along here. And so I happened to talk to one of the construction guys, and he told me that I could park down by where he blocks the road, and I could walk down and get a little footage of the damage. So that's what I thought I would do, is roll down here and see what exactly they've got going on. The water's been raging through here with this one. This drainage area worked just as it's supposed to. Probably backing up a little bit of water. The culvert restricts it somewhat, and then slowly releasing over time. That's not what happened down the road though. See the water is backed up here, and it flowed up over the road, so it's gone down the road. Well, first of all, step one, when you fly a drone, look over your head when you take off. I crashed it and broke one of the propellers because I flew straight up into a tree. But what's happened here, and why this is particularly dangerous and they had to close the road, is that there had been fires up in the hills over the last couple of years. So when they get heavy rains, occasionally they'll get a debris flow that will cause problems. And in this case, what happened is, normally this is just a little valley with an intermittent creek in it. But the debris, when we had heavy rain, the debris flowed down with the creek and plugged the culvert that allows the water to run under the road and into Cachuma Lake. And by blocking that culvert, it basically turned this into a dam. So the road became a dam about 30 feet deep. It filled up so far that water rushed over the top of it and destroyed the road to a certain extent. So they had to close it. But what's really kind of dangerous about this, and for these guys working on it as well, is that ground is saturated, and that road, that water is about 20 feet deep there, so you're not seeing the entire road, the road bed, I should say. So what could happen is that could collapse, and just like a dam collapsing and breaking, it could cave in and there'd be a big rush of water. Fortunately, there's just a lake on the other side there, but it's still dangerous for the guys working around it. They hopefully would have time to run away if it started to really collapse. But what they're doing is pumping water to try and lower it on the upstream side so that they can get the debris cleared from the culvert, and then they'll go about fixing the road. The road has sunk about a foot from what I understand, and then of course parts of the edges of the road have completely washed away there. So it's a long process, and they may actually have to dig all the way down to replace that culvert if they can't get it cleaned out from above. If the rains don't hold off, and this is the rainy season, if they get another heavy rain within the next couple of weeks, it could be devastating for this operation. But anyway, there's always something, it seems like, in California, as big as the state is. There's a lot to look out for. Thanks for watching.